Welcome to STS30, in which we press X to not die. There's a reason for that, and I'll explain in a bit.
Okay.
But, of course, this week we have joining us, as always, Mr. Fluke.
Soup.
Mr. Surge.
Hello.
And Mr. Cow.
Hello.
Mr. Cow, try not to die on us during this thing.
Say, yeah.
Apparently, I've heard rumours that you have caught the flu.
The lurgies.
Yeah, downside to working in an office with a lot of other people. Also, you have practically killed me before this because laughing is not fun when you have a sore throat.
Is it like
It's,
permanent con flu? Working in an office like that?
Pretty
Oh no,
much.
Office is a fantastic site for two things. You'll get the, hey, did you get that funny email I sent you? And hey, did you get the germs I coughed on your sandwich?
Yeah, pretty much.
It makes a circle around the office, and by the time it gets around you, it's mutated into something your body's never seen before, so you get it again. And then you get it again 3 months later. And then again 3 months later.
That's it. You just need to make sure you work in an office big enough that there's enough people that it can kind of go round them and you've got a good time before it gets back to you. Working in an office with 10 people, you'll be ill too often.
10 people's not enough. 10 people's not where you've got 100 people in it, anywhere that you regularly have contact with, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You've been there.
I say
you spent years
10
just getting ill every
just,
3 months,
no.
having a damn cold or a flu or...
I would say
a
10 is
stomach
worse
bug.
because any standard virus, after with 10 people, it won't have been able to mutate enough. But it's then that kind of, it falls into a wonderful game for both you and whatever the germ is.
Am
It's
I
like
gonna catch it?
if you can evolve enough before you get back round to me, then I won't kill you. it's this wonderful circular thing going
So it's
on.
basically biohazard on a very small scale.
Yes. Or one of those games I used to play on the PC, which was about shooting viruses. I can't remember what they were called. Crappy things that you get on CDs that you got with breakfast cereal and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or Dr. Mario?
They're the kind of
That actually
things
reminds me of the first phone game I saw that used the camera. Really weird segue just for a second there. It's somebody, old mate, had one of the first Nokia camera phones. It was like a rubberized thing, so it got toughened so you could, the rub bits on the outside.
I had one of
so
those, and it had rubber
dropping.
bits going in between the numbers and stuff, and it was like shock absorby. That one?
Yeah, no, yes, but it was it was the sleeker looking version. The camera was in the middle rather than off to one side. I had the cheaper one that had 2K pieces of kit that slid apart. Anyway, this game was, it used the camera and it looked for dark spots and these little creepy crawly, looked like digitally generated crawler things had come out of the dark spots and you had to use the phone to shoot them.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was quite good.
I wouldn't be able to trust my own house ever again.
And then all you need is someone to hack it and just put a random weeping angel in there somewhere.
Oh god.
But then you would just leave the camera on it and just be like, well, putting the phone down, and I'm going away.
Yeah.
And where's your phone? Angel.
Damn.
It's like, another one.
Again.
Yeah.
Nokia would be onto a winner there. It's just suddenly, our phones are being bought like crazy.
Just a long battery life on a Nokia. It gives you a good amount of time to put some sensible distance between you and it.
Yeah. Anyway, so, should we talk news or games first?
Let's do the news and get that done.
Indeed.
News. So, the one that got me this week, apart from the one this morning from Creative Assemblies and Sega about Warhammer, the Warhammer franchise
Yes.
link up. Oh,
That will look beautiful, but my god, my PC's crying already thinking about it.
Just like Rome 2.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I
They'll probably base it on the same engine. Because, yeah,
Why not?
because it's perfect. But the amount of work that goes into the units and whatnot, that's going to look beautiful.
There's never really been one for the Total War games. I picked up Shogun 2, but it's still not my cup of tea. But Warhammer might be tempted.
I mean, it's massive strategy RTS, which I'm really not very good at. But I appreciate watching somebody play who does know their strategy.
That's fine
I'm
because
not very good at them, but I try my darndest.
And it's because they're so pretty to watch, because there's so much detail goes into everything. The textures on the units and the amount of research and work that goes into making sure that the units are accurate.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's just so nice to watch.
But it's fine, if you can't do the grand strategy thing, just play orcs. You might have tactics and superior weaponry. We've got numbers.
We've just got numbers.
Our strategy is we take all these guys and we put them over there. Anyone that
Skaven.
survives wins.
Skaven is like you spend the entire game just running away.
Yeah. Oh god.
You are essentially the French of the Warhammer world. Although I apologise to anyone that's actually French listening to this. That was harsh, and I shouldn't say that, because you only ever surrendered in like one war, and it's a gross over-exaggeration of...
Yeah, you know, every
military
time somebody
capabilities.
says that nowadays, the French just kind of, stretch their fingers and like, so who is it you come and talk to if you need a nuclear reactor? Oh, that's right.
So, like, the other one that got me more than that, the one that I actually want to spend more than 30 seconds talking about, is the Hitman thing.
The Hitman thing?
Oh,
Any of you guys see this? The Hitman news?
Oh, yes.
yeah, the Hitman
Yes.
promotion thing.
Oh yeah.
The app
Wow.
thing that went horribly wrong.
Yeah.
So
there was
there
a
was-
miscommunication in marketing.
I'm not sure, honestly. I have no idea. But
When did that seem like a good idea? I mean, I get the I get the idea, kind of, but there's a point when you're discussing ideas and you're chucking stuff around in your meeting where you go, while that's fun and all, we can't possibly do that because, you know, duh. That's like, I mean, I understand, that's Checkpoint Charlie just failing to
the
be at his
thing
post.
was-
I get that, I do it
the
verbally
thing
all the
was,
time.
They were all pretty offensive. But this was a Facebook app, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
I think it was
Facebook app, so you
And
could target it
I
and
didn't
then
actually
you
get
could
to
target it
play
to
it.
anybody
I
on
just
your
saw the stuff
friends
and it was an
list.
app. Yeah. So you pick someone on your friends list, and you basically put a hit out on them.
And you pick a
And
reason.
it made a very awesome Dexter-esque video involving them, but for the Hitman game. I'm saying Dexter-esque because if you remember a while back, there was a campaign done in the UK for Dexter.
I don't remember that.
Okay, there was a campaign done where that you basically could send a text message to someone's phone in the UK, and it linked to a news report about crimes that were happening, and their name would be written in blood at the crime scene of like their next.
Cool.
And it caused like panic because people didn't know what the hell was going on, and it was such a successful campaign that like Scotland Yard got involved. It was brilliant. Scotland Yard were just like, "What the hell are you doing?" But it's very much that kind of thing. It reminds me of that. Like, it's very much a case of you can put out a hit on a friend and it will create a video that involves their name and them and everything, etc., etc.
The problem was,
But
however,
but the thing was, you can put a hit on your friend. So let's say I'm feeling irritated that Xander has eaten the last custard cream. So it's like, I'm going to put a hit out on Xander.
pretty serious
So it's
crime.
like,
Dipped it
I-
in
I-
me tea.
yeah, I go along to Facebook and I find his page, which is at www.facebook.com/I'm super awesome pony lover X8 because X7 is taken. And then I select one of the drop-down reasons for why, which is things like they were cheating on their ex. For the guys, they have a tiny penis. There was other ones as well, like they were ginger.
Yeah.
For
Small
women,
boobs.
yes. For women, though, there were such wonderful ones as her muffin top and her small tits.
Nice.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well thought out.
You completely put your foot in it and sodded that one up. But see, I thought it was a good idea.
Not
Up
when,
until-
well,
no,
not when
up
it
until
used-
the
not when
point
it's a
with, like, the-
Facebook thing
yeah.
like that. Let's
It would have been a good idea without things like her small tits or you know, his tiny penis.
They'd have put
or...
funny ones.
The problem is,
Yeah.
it's something that is entirely intended to be personal. But with what's the biggest demographic users of Facebook? School kids.
Not small-titted women.
No, but
Or tiny penised men.
but
Also, how would a hitman
14
find
to
someone on that?
14 to 19-year-olds.
Looking for a man with a small
yes,
penis.
they're kind of immature.
Bring
yeah,
your
but that's the
magnifying
thing. Like good evening, 47. Here is your latest assignment. Your target is Xander the Flute Dent. He is a masked man. The way that you'll identify him is by his tiny penis. How? What kind of situation are you going to be in, Xander, where you and a hitman are in the same room and he is able to see your tiny penis and nothing else?
You'd have to get me to go out the house first, and I'm the nearest. You're probably looking at a swimming bath, something like that.
A
Changing room
sauna with your
somewhere.
legs open. No, a sweat room with your legs open and a towel over your face, leaning back, laying on a thing. He won't be able to identify you by your face because you've got a towel over you, but he'll know you from your tiny penis.
Interesting.
And your birthmark shaped like Pinkie Pie.
Awesome.
I've seen the posters. It's quite scary.
The posters of his birthmark.
No, the posters of this ever increasing fandom problem that he's getting.
Fluke for president.
The world would be a better place, I tell you.
Instead of a poster that has the word change on it, it just has the word bugger off.
We want you to bugger off.
Xander's campaign would essentially be like Zoidberg. It would be like, well, everyone else is ballsing it up. Just give me a try. Why not Xander?
Can't trust anybody else. Why not trust me?
Because yours would be like, right, shoot everyone in the head that has ever like cheated in an online game, has ever shot me in anything, it is offensive to me in any way, or has stolen my last Rolo.
Wow.
Well, I'm not long for this world.
Benevolent dictatorship right there, man.
Mandatory USB devices that will shoot you in the face if you ever shoot Xander in anything.
No, just
it's
it's a cheat. I don't mind a fair fight.
It's such a shame though, because the idea was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Until you go and put in the reason for elimination. Like you don't need that. You can get around this by either one of two ways. A, put the reason as a blank box and allow someone to type in what they want. Because then, if it's offensive, it's out of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Or put in things that are so
Or-
over the top, nobody could ever possibly take them seriously.
Yeah, or put
Yeah,
them in for
that'd be
things. Yeah, go
Make
to the
comedy
complete
light of it.
ludicrous.
Yeah.
Like I understand what you're doing. You're doing the tongue-in-cheek thing, but you're too close to reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too close to the bone, as it were.
Yeah. Like what they need is there was one that was used as an example on a few sites that I saw, which was their strange odor. Do ones like that. Do ones like that. Just continue that trend. Don't go for things like their big ears or their ginger hair or that kind of thing. Go for stuff like. You can't even go for stuff like because you're adopted. Like, you just go for stuff like your strange odor because you put the milk on, because you never put the lid back on the milk. You know.
You never wash my clothes on the right setting.
Yeah, but because you always change the thermostat. Just go for like completely outlandish things.
I have a nice easy one. Because you insist on being player one.
Yeah, there you go. Because you insist on being player one. That's a fantastic
You keep on
one.
giving me that controller.
You make me use that controller.
It's just go to the outlandish. Go to ones that like people either are just going to find completely stupid because there's no reason you would ever hire a hitman for that reason. Like, I understand that's kind of what they're going for on this. It's like you'd never hire a hitman because he's ginger, but that's
Well,
it's too
the problem
close
is the
to
demographic
point.
that they're targeting the advertising campaign at, and the fact that hiring a hit on somebody is inherently personal, means while it's a well-designed
Well, no.
campaign, it's inherently designed to be misused.
No, but here is the issue. They cannot logically target that campaign at people on Facebook that are 14 years old. because their game is rated too high. You cannot do it.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're going to say here. People under that age are going to play the game. Their parents will buy it for them, or they'll just
Of course they
pay
will.
Hobo Steve to like get them a copy, or they'll just go and acquire it from somewhere that has anchors
Or
and
just
sails
buy
and
it online.
a black and white flag with a Jolly Roger. But it's
Good old John.
that doesn't matter from the game company's point of view. You know this kind of thing is going to happen, but you can't acknowledge it's happening because that's bad. You have to basically be like, okay, we're advertising it to 18 to 23-year-olds. And yeah, okay, 18 to 23-year-olds are pretty goddamn immature. Fully admit that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But then you could do it as outlandish ones, and you're appealing to gamers here. Go for stupid ones. Hell, make them gaming, nothing but gaming related. I took out a hit on you because you always hit me with a effing blue shell.
Wow, that was the exact idea I had as well.
Wow. In the end, it's always Mario Kart.
Either Mario
Yeah.
Kart or Redeemers from Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that puppy.
So, do any of you guys have news that you wanna mention?
THQ Humble Bundle, if anybody hasn't seen it or picked it up, it's got like 6 days left on it, and
Yes.
it's a tremendous chance to pick up a bunch of stuff that I didn't have a chance to play.
It's like
I'd
$6 and you get 8 games, including
They
Saints
just
Row the Third.
added-
You need to buy it just
They
for
just
Saints Row the
added some
Third.
stuff
Yeah,
to
they
it.
just added, what was it, Titan Quest and the DLC to Red Faction Armageddon, which I've never played.
Yep.
Apparently it got bashed in reviews and whatnot, but I've always been
I've always been
it's
a
a
Red
guilty
Faction fan.
pleasure of mine.
Yeah.
I've always loved Red Faction. I love the destructible environments, and they're the only people that have really kind of tried to push that and integrate it in.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it in Red Faction 1 where you could build little forts into the cliff sides and stuff. That was awesome fun.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
build
Burrow.
multiplayer levels for the original Red Faction. I built multiplayer
You
FPS.
burrowed into a wall, or there was the fantastic one of, I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2, but you would go into the lobby on one of the levels and you would burrow through the wall and up and get onto the roof.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
I think everyone's done that.
Yeah. I like the open worldness of the of Guerrilla. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I spent a lot of time playing that. And I know that's why Armageddon got bashed, was because apparently they went back to the story. But I don't mind that. If they make good use of the game engine and use it well, why not?
Yeah. Oh, now I'm just like, I'm going old school in memories now. It's like, oh, I remember the rifle as well.
Yeah, where
Where
you
you
see
could get
through
the-
walls, the thermal
The
thing.
railgun
Yes.
rifle. Oh, the eraser gun, as like, I
Yes.
remember those it now.
Yeah, that was a fun tool. Just run around. I remember running around the later parts of the game, just shooting people in the head through doors just before I went through the door. So just walk into a room full of dead guys. Next room.
Yeah.
Awesome fun.
I have to go
So
and play
you-
some of that.
You mentioned the THQ bundle.
Yeah, I mean there's not
We
there's
can,
other stuff.
yeah,
in there.
but we can segue this into games in a rather awesome way,
Okay.
which is Saints Row 3.
Yeah.
You've been playing it, right?
Yeah.
Finally.
What do you think? Finally,
I know, right?
finally, I've been
Never got
after
round to
your
picking-
thoughts on
never,
this for
never got round
ages
to picking up
because
a
you.
copy. I'm having hilarious fun in it. It's like GTA on
GTA on fun.
GTA just crossed with
Tripping balls on life.
it. GTA almost crashed into Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Oh,
with that kind of
Have you tried
cartoon
the
aspect to everything. The way
have
it
you
just,
tried the cock bat yet?
Not yet, no. I have not
Penetrator.
tried the penetrator. I was trying to remember the name.
How far through story? It's been out a while, so
Uh,
minor spoilers are all right.
where am I up to? I'm not very far in. Just me and Kate, you've been.
Oh,
just
not very
started.
far.
No.
Oh.
I've only just started. I've been round just exploring the place. I've just bought scraping cash together. I bought the airport last night, so I can fly
Surge.
planes and helicopters around.
That means he won't have had the gimp chase.
No.
oh god.
No,
Well,
I
I
haven't
remember
had to
that.
chase a gimp
No,
or be the
you,
gimp.
you don't have to chase a gimp. You'll see when you get there.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
all will
I've been
become
saying. I've been
apparent.
keeping my mouth as shut as possible about anything
That-
funny in the game.
That was the moment. Well, there was two moments. There was the one at the beginning where you go through the
plane.
front of the plane
Yes.
and come out the
Yeah.
back, and you
I
go,
was-
so that just happened. And then there's the gimp chase. Those two, for me, are the moments in that game. Just
I think
no words.
the tank and the plane. That's one of my moments.
Uh,
I want to go and play some more now. Knock it off.
You can after this.
Now I actually have to go and play Minor Wars, which is a nice little segue again. Nicely done.
but I'm gonna throw us back in a sec
Yeah.
because Minor Wars. Yes, we do need
Yeah.
to play, and we are going to play in those.
I don't want to say
Hopefully
too much
we're
about
going
it.
to do a video on it.
Straight into the trebuchet, back in
We're
time.
Yeah.
going to do a couple of bits and pieces on that, but it's a nice little game. I've had a little play around, and it's looking good for co-op functionality. I'm impressed because there's not enough games do
Didn't
that.
they say it had like 16
16
co-op?
player co-op?
How
Yeah,
does that work?
Yeah.
just you and 15
run
other
a server,
people.
essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, play through the single player. Why not?
Wow.
Why don't more games go? Yeah, okay. Have you and all your friends play through the story at the same time?
You see all these AI people walking around. Yeah, we'll just replace those with players.
Yeah, why not?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
And it's all like persistent and shit.
Yeah.
So if someone comes along and steals something or like blows a giant hole in the
Yeah,
world,
drills a hole through one of the stations, then that station will forever have a hole drilled through the middle of it.
well, until you restart the server in air quotes.
Yeah, unless you restart the game and whatnot. Yeah.
Sounds like good fun. Might have to give it a look.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to trying it out. I'm not sure if we'll get a video. I hope so.
Yes,
We,
I really want to.
I believe that
It's
no
like-
matter what, we'll get an OST out
It's
of
like
it. Not
Descent
sure
across
about
the Red
first
Faction.
glance. Yes.
Nice.
Lots of
But
fun.
yeah, I know we'll get an OST out of it. Not sure if we'll get a first glance, but yeah, that one at least one video on Minor Wars is coming. I know that much.
Yes.
Also, on the subject of videos, quickly as well, I want to also get a video of Stealth Bastard out.
I don't know what that game is, but it sounds amazing.
It, to me, it looks like Super Meat Boy crossed with a kind of 2D Splinter Cell.
So it's a bit like Mark of the Ninja, but slower.
But slower.
Yeah.
Have you seen Stealth Bastard? It's quite interesting.
No.
And I'd love to, if possible, get a video out on Super Hexagon, but that would be a really short video because the game is literally like you are alive for 4 seconds, you are dead.
What you do is you take your video, you put in like just super slow motion, be all like, okay, here's how you actually
just-
play.
This is how you play the game in slow mo.
And now for the final 5 seconds, let's show you how that actually looked. Bam, 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 dead.
There's 3 modes. There's Hexagon, Hexagoner, and Hexagonist. And on Hexagon, I am now up to 38 seconds. On Hexagonist, I am at 7.
Wow.
Wow.
It's absolutely
You
crazy.
can create your own levels in it as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's horrific.
He's still talking about Stealth Bastard.
The potential,
finally catching
potential
up.
for trolling in there is just immense.
Just like Meat Boy.
Yeah, the levels for Stealth Bastard are the ones that it comes with
They're
apparently get
real-time shadows.
stupid hard, but the fact that you can create your own in it is insane.
Yeah, because people are. The
Yeah.
world at large is far worse than any game developer's worst
Yeah,
nightmare.
because the world at large is filled with dicks.
Yeah. I like that real-time
Surge.
shadows. So the shadows move and you've got to stay in. The
El
shadows.
Devo.
So I'm gonna leave Xander looking at Stealth Bastard.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
gonna come,
Off you go in that corner.
yeah, I'm gonna come talk to you, Serge. So Serge, guess what I spent some of my time this week playing?
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say. You finally managed to pick up Elemental.
I have finally managed to get round to playing Fallen Enchantress.
How
Oh,
many days did you lose?
I have lost now. I'm going to sum this up in 2 ways. I have played it for about a day and a half total time. Of that, I have lost about 16 hours to having to restart.
What?
Damn.
It is a game that is very unfriendly.
It is not
How would you mean
a
restart?
user-friendly game.
Okay, so my first playthrough, I didn't last very long because I wasn't sure what I was doing. I lasted maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I kind of worked out what I was doing. So I created Kick-Assia.
Yeah.
I have the
Nice.
Empire of Kick-Assia, and my wonderful little guys. I have Kessian of Kick-Assia, and I think on my third playthrough was going really well. I had 2 cities. Everything was good. I was building stuff up. I wasn't lagging too far behind.
Yeah.
I've learned stuff from this one now. And I was getting gear, and I was going out, and I was exploring, and I was doing quests, and I was killing stuff, and everything was going fantastic. And then, all of a sudden, I saw, a purple marker,
What's a purple
and I
mark
decided,
mean?
hey, do I explain to you what a purple marker is, Serge?
Purple marker on the map is like a monster lair.
Okay.
Place where
Okay.
stuff
Some
spawns.
of which can be empty.
Some of which are empty. Others contain
Some-
dragons.
Yeah, so this was right next to my base that this one appeared. And so I was like, hey, I'll nip into this thing. And as I got into it, it was a case of as follows. I have clicked button. Round 1, combat begins. Initiate roll. Well, you failed. Okay, all of the enemies are going to go first because they're higher level than you and they all have higher initiative. And bam, that's a unit dead. Bam, that's your hero dead. Bam, that's your other hero dead. Bam, that's a unit dead. Bam, that's a unit dead. Bam, that's a unit dead. Bam, you are all dead. And it was literally like, turn 1 has ended. You are dead.
You have lost.
And it was just
Wow.
like, how is this fair?
Yeah.
And so it was just like, everyone is dead. One of your guys has a concussion.
Yeah,
Which
because
is
your
like,
heroes, if they die in a combat, they get
They
wounded.
get injuries
Yeah.
that cause them things.
You have
so
a
it
you
was
have a main hero who's like you on the field who doesn't get injuries. Instead, he uses mana to teleport away because magic. But your other injury people get stuff ranging from "tis but a scratch," which has no effect, to being afraid of dying, which is like a massive accuracy penalty if they get hurt.
Do you want to know the worst thing about this though, Serge?
What's the worst thing about this, Dave?
So they ended up completely, wiping me out, and it was like, oh crap.
Yep.
Well, it's alright. Combat is over, and I am now back to the map. Thankfully, I'll be okay now because they're following me.
Oh god.
Yeah. They formed a unit on the map and they just walked over and was like, yeah, about that.
4 injuries later, I decided to give up on my Dark Elf that I had acquired and
Send him off
just
the other
kind
side of the map
call it
somewhere.
a day for the Empire of Kick-Assia.
It is a very
So it's hard then.
unfriendly game. It doesn't tell you a lot. The tutorial is very... It gives you the basics, but to
Well,
actually
it's not
survive,
it's
you
not
need to
even
learn
that.
a lot of stuff on your own.
Xander, it's a case of the game can either be monumentally easy if you want it to be, soul-crushingly hard if you want it to be, anywhere in between if you want it to be, or a very fantastic setting which I'm using, which is random.
Random difficulty.
There is a random
God.
button for everything.
Yes, there's not just random for difficulty. There is what is the surrender likelihood of your enemies? Random.
Okay.
How many monster spawns would you like? Random. What kind of difficulty/aggression would you like on your monsters? Random. How many wildlands, which are the monster areas of the world, would you like? Random. How much resources would you like? Random. How many quests would you like? Random.
Oh dear god.
Yep. You can get some
Why would
truly
you do
outlandish...
this to yourself?
Because it's funny.
Because I believe that that's a setting that every game like Civ should ever have. Because going into a campaign or going into a level and just being like, I'm going to play a level.
You have
and
no
just being
idea.
Like, dub, 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 dub. You click all the buttons and you set it up and you know it's going to play out. I'd love random aspects of that. It's like, let's have like random amounts of monsters and random amounts of resources, because that's going to completely change up how you play. Because that's going to be like, oh crap, I've got iron. but there's none elsewhere because it's goddamn rare as crap because we rolled badly in the random thing. So iron is really important, and iron will then become a rare commodity. Or it may be a case of I'm crapping iron, it's everywhere. However, there are very few quests and champions. Oh, balls.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to lead as many armies.
Yeah, so I'm going to have real problems, and I'm going to have to basically try and work my way around this with the materials I can get.
I think I'm going to have to do a write-up on Fallen Enchantress. Purely because it's a game that we never get the time to do a video on. But we need to cover it, because it is a very, very good turn-based strategy game.
I am free later in this week.
Oh?
We can
multiplayer
maybe do a video.
You can't play multiplayer. That's my one gripe at the moment with Fallen Enchantress. It doesn't have multiplayer. Something that it could really benefit from.
No multiplayer?
I've seen in the data files there's actually a multiplayer folder.
It's something that may be
What
coming.
engine's it based on? What does it use? Does it use the engine of another game?
I really don't know.
Is it like a total conversion for Civ or something like that?
It looks a lot different to Civ. I think
yeah,
it's
you can do
their
a
own
lot
engine.
of Civs.
It's I know it's Stardock, so I'm not sure what engine it's in, but I'm going to guess it's going to be one of theirs.
Okay. Unsure then.
That's all I know is it's going to be in one of Stardock's engines. I have no idea what it is. It'll probably be in like Star Engine or something.
Apparently it's called the Kumquat engine.
What?
Kumquat engine.
Kumquat engine.
Kumquat. Yes.
You're going to repeat that as well, Xander, just so everyone says it at least once?
Kumquat engine?
There we go.
You know, if you really want to embrace your pony fan, you can say pick up Barrel Kumquat. You can just hear it resisting.
Sound of it going straight over my head.
So far over my head it left vapor trails.
Yeah, that's the distant sound of crickets in the night.
It's fine, someone watching this video will get it.
I know. I hope.
Probably be
I'm
me
just-
or lunch.
I hope.
I'm sure someone watching this video will get it, and thankfully that person won't be me.
Yeah. Moving
So-
swiftly on.
We definitely need to have a look at that, Tiff.
Not moving swiftly on, because Fallen Enchantress it's blowing me away with how much depth it has. I knew it was a deep game.
Yeah.
I completely knew it was a deep game, and yet it's still, there is so much for me to try and work out and take in, and so much
Serge
I've
has
not
disappeared for
seen.
days playing it.
So I'm going to go play
Wait.
Fallen Enchantress, and then like 2
Wait.
days later.
Did him? He's
Oh,
not
you-
Serge recently. He's still alive.
I have one gripe with it, Serge.
Oh, besides the lack of multiplayer.
Actually, I don't have a gripe with lack of
Really?
multiplayer.
Surely a game like that's
It's still-
perfectly set up for multiplayer.
it's still enjoyable.
Yeah,
begging for it.
It can be set up for multiplayer, and if it had multiplayer, then awesome, I would love it to have multiplayer. But just because it doesn't have multiplayer does not mean I think it's any less of a game. I think it's a perfectly good game, whether it has or doesn't have multiplayer.
Yeah.
My issue is with the tech trees.
They are very linear.
See, I haven't
Yep.
played the game, so I don't know.
Yeah, there are 3 tech trees you can choose between warfare, magic, and civs.
magic. And they're good trees. Like they do go for a fair while, and there is a fair amount of stuff in.
But there
them.
is no the problem. I know the problem you're talking about now. There's no branching to the trees, so you can't really specialize. You can specialize, but sooner or later you're going to be picking up everything just to stay competitive.
Yeah, they're very the most they split out is, I believe, 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like there is literally it goes to about 3 or 4, and then comes back to like 2 alongside each other, and then it splits out again to like 3 or 4. And there are some that require, like one will require 2 or 3 from the previous line.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. There is no branching.
There's no real choice, and
Well, there is choice. Because there's 3 different trees. Do you want to be a civ? Do you want to go for actual combat? Or do you want to go magic? There is choice.
Okay.
And if those 3 were all on the same page, then it would be like, holy crap, it's branching so much, and it would be massively confusing. I can understand why they've split it into 3 different pages, because it makes stuff a lot easier. But at the same time, I don't know.
Judging by the amount of customizability in the game, I wouldn't be surprised if modders got onto that. I don't know if they're actually, saying, come mod our game, but they've got enough tools in there.
Well, there's lots of stuff
I know that there's a
in the game for modding already.
Yeah, there's a particle creator, there's a tile creator for custom buildings, and there's a faction creator, and all manner of stuff.
Yeah.
For actually making stuff within the game.
That's kind of cool. So it's allowing for that.
Mm-hmm.
So on the complete
That's
other
what
end of
kept
things,
it's what kept Skyrim still in the Steam played list.
yeah.
The massive number of mods for it.
Yeah, Steam Workshop, all that, Nexus.
Actually, talking about tech trees and being very linear on the complete other scale of things, just to bring up a news article I spotted a couple of days ago. Path of Exile Open Beta is coming in late January. I want that game.
I think I'm
for a while. I prefer.
I think I'm done with like ARPGs.
There have been a lot
Yeah.
between
There have been quite a
Diablo
few.
3, Torchlight 2, we've got
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile, Sui Generis, that one on Kickstarter.
There was Crater as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm done with ARPGs for now. I don't want any more hack and slashes. And I know there's one that we'll be looking at some point down the line, which is the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. So I'm just kind of like, I don't want to burn out on ARPGs. I think I'm already on the edge of burning out, so it's just like...
I go through phases where it's
Yeah.
You need to be in the right mood to play them, I
Yeah,
think.
very
But
much.
Path of Exile, Path of Exile is doing great things. Won't say bad things about them. I think they're doing wonderful things. I dislike their player base.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one in brutal honesty.
No, I can understand that. I mean, the type of, as you pointed out, the type of game that it is, with it being so heavily numbers, I mean, maxi, the type of crowd that draws generally aren't the most pleasant bunch.
Nope.
No. And like, I'm one of them. So, yeah. Not the most pleasant bunch.
You'll never be able to ask a question in the game. Because if you ask a question in the game, you'll get told to either go and look it up, or you'll be insulted for not knowing.
Oh my god, if you don't know that.
I know, right?
Noobs.
It's a crime against humanity that you don't know how X and Y does Y and X.
God, as if you've just started and you don't know the mechanics of this game. What are you doing?
Should just uninstall right
Yeah. God.
Sounds like much of the daughter player base, to be fair.
now. Hey, you leave the Dota
You
guys
leave Dota
alone.
out of
There's-
this.
there
sounds
are-
like more.
MOBA players.
Yeah, it sounds,
I would
exactly,
say,
it's why I
I
don't
would
play.
say most MOBA players are bloody atrocious. However, there are the rare gems in the Dota community which are fantastic, and you can have a good game of Dota 2.
I've seen it happen.
Quite
It is
often.
possible.
Yeah, you can do it. It's quite frequent as well. As long as you're winning, the guys on your team will be fairly happy.
At the moment
That
something
seems to
goes
be a
wrong.
common trend among
your
most
fault.
MOBAs.
Yeah, the hilarious thing I like though is that Dota 2 is still it will forever be the only game that I can be winning and still be angry as shit.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's the game that like you can be losing and you can be really pissed, and you can be winning and you can be really pissed, and at the same time you can be losing and be amazingly happy, and you can be winning and you can be amazingly happy. It doesn't matter like how the game is going into how it affects your mood. It's
Yeah.
really irritating because it's all about like how you're doing in the scope of the game.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
Not
interesting
my
one.
cup
On the
of
subject of MOBA players, did you see the "I will dominate" thing?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
I was so happy to see that because a lot of people think that pro players, just because you're pro and you're in the public eye, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. So for those not in the low, not in the
Xander
low.
won't be in the know, and I'm going to get him to actually admit that one, and then you can explain it to him,
I'm
Serge.
just sat here with a raised eyebrow.
It's thing going on in the League of Legends pro scene. Player called I Will Dominate. Pretty stupid name to begin with. Basically using his professional
Consultant Serge
status-
is so much better.
Basically using his professional status to act like a complete asshat. He got multiple reports, and he got brought before the tribunal there, kind of judge courtroom system they have in place
Imagine
multiple
in some
times.
darkened room with bright lights behind this panel.
I
of
will
judges.
dominate. You have been called forth for crimes against the nation.
Yeah, and he got,
How do you plead?
just because of the way he acts within the community, he got banned. All of his accounts got banned, and he's no longer allowed to play in the pro scene. Necessary, if you ask me, because, you know.
Fair enough. Somebody getting
I think it was
kicked in
just
the
a-
pants for their asshattery about bloody time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, go on, Kel.
No, I was just I just find it odd that like when you're a member of a pro team, the team is going to be kind of encouraging positive behavior, especially among mobile players
Yeah,
because
you're
they have a
meant to be.
reputation. I mean,
You're
it's
meant to
not
be
even a
setting an
small
example.
team. It
Wasn't
wasn't
it?
even a small team this guy's a part of. He was part of Team Dignitas,
Yeah, I was
which
gonna
are
say,
pretty
Team
big.
Dignitas, they're like one of the biggest.
The thing is, though, like it wasn't even a case of. You know, there's no way you can defend this guy.
Mm-hmm.
There is no one that can come forward and legitimately say this is unfair. He is being picked on because he's a famous player, and yeah, okay, he ran his mouth, but that's nothing. Like, people do it all the time. Yeah, okay, just so you like everyone is aware, right? I'm actually on. I've got the page sat here for the League of Legends site. I Will Dominate has been in tribunal 9 times, punished 8 times. Despite the punishments and official warnings, his harassment score has risen more than 30% from early August, placing him at the top of the list of North American pro players and among the worst 0.7% of all North American LoL players. Now, how many players does League of Legends have?
Too many.
Multiple millions now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
And he was in the worst 0.7 of all North American players. That is
So
a
as far as
special kind
what does
of
that score,
asshole.
What does that score mean? What is that?
That means of reports that he reports against him and like the how offensive and how bad he is, basically.
Yeah, because the way the tribunal works, it's basically a peer review. When someone gets X number of reports, they get put into the tribunal, which is a separate website, and it has things like chat logs, match histories. So if someone's intentionally feeding, you can see someone going like 0 kills, 30 deaths in a game repeatedly.
Yeah.
So and you can see everything they say.
and you can make a
basically-
judge on whether they should be forgiven or punished.
Yeah.
You know, whether they're being reported unfairly because of, you know,
It's
other
a
people.
really good,
or
it's a really good
they
system.
are genuinely being asshat.
So this
Like, I Will
guy
Dominate.
is a complete another asshat.
Yeah.
He is about as
If you go above,
asshat as the LoL community gets.
Go above a certain threshold, you get put before a league or Riot's own review committee, and they're the one who hand down the ban. So it's not a case of
Hilarious
Oh,
fun.
he
then.
was bad
this
for a
guy's-
week.
So this guy's probably absolutely steamed that he can't play anymore because now he doesn't have an outlet for all that anger. He's going to need some therapy sharpish before he's in prison for murdering somebody in the street.
I made the
This
comment
took a very
on-
dark turn the moment you got introduced.
I made the comment on Mumble the other day of like people were talking about League of Legends stuff, and I was like, meanwhile, I Will Dominate is currently downloading Dota. Because he's all of his known accounts were banned.
He got banned.
And
Completely
he is
ostracized.
banned. He is banned from season 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
not. He's ineligible to play in any LoL championship for a year. So he has to basically rebuy all of his stuff on a new account for LoL if he wants to keep playing it. He has to get that account back up to where it was in regards to runes and IP, etc., and heroes and skins and whatnot. And then he has to get that back up to the MMR rating he was at, or ELO rating they use, don't they?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's still not able to actually play competitively, in air quotes, for a year.
And that's assuming he still has a team after all this.
Yeah. That is if they bring
nobody
him back
the,
in.
Nobody in the right mind will touch him after that. Well, they might
You'd
do.
be
They might do
surprised.
just for the controversy and the look who we've got.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. He wasn't the best player in the world, so
Who knows? The future is uncertain.
Indeed.
The future is bright. The future is orange.
Oh, why can't it be yellow?
Actually, it's not bright and orange anymore because they're now EE, which means that it's just, I think it's like, our future, isn't it like our future is in your hands or your future is in our hands? And given how bad they've been with network signal around here,
That's not a good sign.
It's shaping up to be a very dystopian future.
I don't want my future anywhere near you. They're running a 4G network, right? You can actually get on 4G.
yes,
over
they
there
are
now.
4G.
In some places.
Yeah. But given that their 3G is unstable,
No, I rarely get
I don't
stable
really want
3G,
4G.
so yeah.
Yeah,
One thing at a time, boys.
I know, right? So, Cal, what games have you been playing?
Thought you could avoid the spotlight, could you?
Yeah.
Sitting quietly
Yeah,
in the
but-
dark.
I'm letting him be ill, hiding in a corner, but I'm going to make him talk for 5 minutes before he goes and coughs up a lung.
Yeah, I'm just constantly muting my microphone here while I'm dying. So like, I think Mark the Ninja has been basically taking all of my non-committed time. So anytime I'm not playing World of Warcraft or League of Legends,
Saw your video on it. Looks like a lot of fun. I might have to pick it up in a sale at some point.
it gets really good as it goes on, but it also gets tough if you don't want to kill everyone. I've been trying like playing some of the earlier levels, just trying not to kill people, and
Just training.
yeah, it's learning patterns and finding out where you can distract people, things like that. So it is a highly entertaining game, and I would recommend it to anyone that likes either platforming or stealth games.
Or both.
If you like both, even better.
How long is it?
I think I've put in 4 to 5 hours so far, but I've been replaying a lot of levels. It does have a decent amount of replayability, especially trying to beat scores and
Yeah, there's high
trying
scores
to.
and leaderboards. But being
Yeah.
the stealthiest bastard as possible.
Oh, to bring up a note about leaderboards, I had an experience earlier. I was playing the N64 version of Star Wars Pod Racer and
Oh, good game.
going around getting lap records and seeing yourself at the top of a scoreboard. Since the advent of internet leaderboards, you don't get that anymore.
New. There's always some
Well,
guy in some
you
country
might.
somewhere that's gonna be far better
It's
than
like-
you.
You get the best time, and it's just like, yeah, I'm best. And then Corporal Dick Smasher comes along and gets a time of minus 0.3. And
that
it's
being
just
said
like,
as
"You
well,
hacking bastard."
I had quite an achievement the other day. I found in the Mallory server we play on PlanetSide that I managed to get up to 11th on the server as the most top scoring player. I thought that was quite a friggin' achievement.
That's because you use most of our community as fodder.
So that's 10 levels too low.
I know it's
Exactly.
10 levels too low, but it's still I still chalk it up as an achievement. I got a screenshot.
It's still good, but there's always going to be games where you play. I mean, if I go and play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I know that every single race, my time will be beaten by Surge.
Yeah. That's why I don't play racing games.
We don't
I'm
talk
kinda
about
happy at the
Hot
moment.
Pursuit.
I'm happy
I
at
don't
home
play
playing
racing
Forza
games for
Horizon
Surge.
because I can be the
Are you
fastest.
still
in
playing
the car
Forza?
club. I am not playing as much as I used to. I'm kind of waiting for the first rally expansion to come out before I really sit
Do you know when that is?
I don't. I think it's like sometime next month, but I could be very wrong about that.
I'm looking forward to January. I'm going to pick up a copy when I'm going to buy myself a late Christmas present of a new monitor and a capture card, as I broke the other one. And then I'll actually be able to like play Xbox stuff and stream Xbox stuff, and everything will be wonderful.
Hooray!
Yeah, Forza Horizon is still a lot of fun, especially because we're starting to get a couple of new people in the car club. We're up to a grand total of 4.
Oh,
It's an exclusive club.
very exclusive.
Well, basically, it's myself.
You must be this Irish.
Lunch,
And 2 of your friends.
a guy who randomly dropped into my stream when I was playing Forza, and someone from our community whose name evades me.
That's the thing. There is the. I tell you what, the one question I get asked the most at the moment on Steam is, do we have a planet side outfit? The one question I get the most. But yeah, my concern at the moment regarding our community and stuff is that Oatmeal has disappeared, Grumble, and so that means that
Where has
things
he
are kind of
gone?
lagging behind. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oatmeal has disappeared into the big wide world. I think he he passed or he was doing his like architecture course or whatever he was doing. I think he was doing architecture. I would like to think that he was doing architecture.
You'd like to think he was doing something constructive.
But
yeah. But so now we have now we have our new guy who's going to take over and is going to be much more awesome and keep things running a lot more smoothly. As we can easily yell at him because he lives very close by.
You get out the train and go and bash him if I need to.
Yeah. So that should mean that with the new site coming as well, that all of these things can be integrated into it, and we can actually link all these things up. So you can be like, oh, holy crap, they actually do have a planet site.
Mm-hmm.
It's here. Or oh, they do have a Forza group. It's here.
Just a quick plug. Yes, we do have a planet side thing. We are currently on the Mallory server on the Vanu Sovereignty. Send me a message, Sultan Surge, and I'll get you in.
There we go.
There you go.
And you'll be able to find me. The best time to find me will be this Saturday at 8 p.m.
Nicely done.
for our
In which time zone?
GMT. Proper time.
There you go.
Yeah, sensible time. Where time is.
8 p.m. sensible time. Yeah.
Please, none of that GMT stuff. 8 p.m. UTC.
Oh god. Please stop. Don't make me send the ninjas again.
I think we should start wrapping up.
Yeah,
I got some proper ones.
52 minutes.
Nice.
Stop paying attention to a timer.
I just glanced at when you said wrap up and it's like, oh, okay.
So does anyone have anything they want to talk about finally before we end? That's why I'm saying we should wrap up now, because I guarantee we'll keep talking for 10 minutes about something. So I'm asking you guys now.
More than likely. There was the Alpha Colony story that broke.
I don't know where I sit on this one. It's a sad story.
But at the same time, it kind of isn't. Because of what the developers turned around and said afterwards. Basically, the game was up on Kickstarter and it looked awesome, but it fell $28 short of the $50,000 goal they'd set.
What they'd actually done was that they'd not unintentionally, they'd unofficially set a $100,000 goal.
Yeah, they would have liked to hit 100k.
To actually,
from a developer's point of view, I can kind of see that. It's like 50k is the minimum we need to get like a minimum viable product. But realistically, to give the game a fair shot at being a successful game, it needs 100k. So I can see why some people would, within the team would be like, okay, well at least we don't ruin the idea by putting out a substandard product because we didn't have enough money.
Yeah. And a lot of people kind of poked Kickstarter being all, well, can't you let them go through with the $28 short? And Kickstarter basically turned around and said, there's no way that we can do that. We can't bend our policies for anyone, but they're more than welcome to come back and try again. So I think if they were to put a bit more time into Alpha Colony to refine the idea and maybe be able to show more of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a lot of games that come up on Kickstarter, less so now that they've introduced their new policies on what you need to have to be able to go up on it. Like, you have to come there with something you can show as opposed to, here's my idea.
Yeah.
So,
It's come a long way since his first round.
Yeah. I think Alpha Colony, if it does come back, I'd like to see where it goes, because it looks like a very interesting concept. But personally, I wanted to see a bit more before I committed money to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. The thing that I find quite interesting about the Alpha Colony idea was that they did actually, like, now that it's said and done, they look at it and go, actually, now we think about it, yeah, we're kind of happy it didn't make it. But at the time, they were trying to get their friends to, put money into it, and friends were putting money into it, but Kickstarter has a clause which is that backers may increase, decrease, or cancel their pledge at any time during the fundraising campaign, except they may not cancel or reduce their pledge if the campaign is in its final 24 hours and the cancellation or reduction would drop the campaign below its goal. Now, they were just below their marker, and they were trying, they had friends backing it to push them up over it, but as they were trying to push it up and over, other people were backing out because they were like, oh, it's only got, an hour to go, it's not going to make it, I'll just unpledge.
Yeah.
And so they kept putting money in as other people were taking it out, and it was just like, huh, no, nearly, oh no, nearly, no. It's like, oh, that was the
That's a
thing that
bit
kind
there.
of.
Why would you unpledge?
Well, because if funding is unsuccessful, well, I don't get it. Like, if funding is unsuccessful, you don't lose anything. You get all the money back anyway.
So why would you unpledge?
So
why would you take your backing away from an idea you want to see?
Because maybe they're worried then that if it does make it, it's only going to make it with a little bit of cash over its actual marker, and then
They
they're
probably
not going to be able to
pledged
make a
early
truly good
because
game.
it looked like a really good idea, but then they realised that it's
Not
only
as many
just
people.
getting the amount of money they need. It wouldn't be as good because a lot of the big Kickstarters get way more money than they set out to get.
Yeah.
So that was probably quite a turn off for potential backers.
So maybe they should have set their goal a little bit higher and more realistic than the minimum viable product.
But even then, like, no matter how much they set their marker to, they could have set it to 100 grand on the basis of 100 grand is what we need to make a good game. And if it was at 99,990, people would still be like, people would still be like, oh, if it hits 100k, we're not going to get a fantastic game. We're just going to get
We're going to get
bottom level
the
game.
base game.
Yeah, but the base
Yeah, 'cause
game is going
that's
to be of a lot
perception.
higher quality. No, it's
Yeah,
not
but
that.
they're
No,
not-
well, yes, it's about perception, but the Kickstarter campaign should be managing that potential customer's expectation, as you well know. They shouldn't. It's all
Yes, but
about
that
what.
it's human perception. It doesn't matter. You can say like if
You could have said
like, you
that-
could you
well,
could set
now,
on
to
your
be fair,
on
they
your
could now,
page.
when they've said they're welcome to come back and go again, they could come back and say, look, what we said was true. Realistically, we need 100k.
But then why would anyone back
Because
it?
now
This
they
is the
know-
issue. Because if you
well-
come back and you're like, okay, look, we're here again. We've got 100k this time, and we can make this game better. Like, this is the stuff that we're looking for the game. It's like people, like, you're gonna have issues of morale loss in people.
People
that
are gonna
backing it.
lose
Now
faith
they're
in the
like,
game.
Yeah, well, it didn't make 50k. Why will it make 100k?
You're never going to know unless you chuck your hat in the ring.
But but this is the second time that they've had a Kickstarter.
What's their initial
fail
fee
on them, I
for
believe.
Kickstarter?
No idea.
I think the Kickstarter
I
take
have no
a
idea.
cut after it's successfully backed.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you go start a Kickstarter, Serge, and you can let me know.
I do need some money for my evil base. Needs a good extension on the site.
Stretch goal, world domination.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, Serge, you don't get a giant door because they're really stupid and people can roll under them while they're closed.
Yeah.
Need a laser fence. They switch on instantly. It's like a big door that just instantly switches on, and if somebody.
Not to mention, big doors are heavy. Have you tried opening one of those bastards?
I know, right?
You need one of those things from like Fringe or the crappy Doom movie, of like you just basically put it on a wall and it causes the particles
Yeah,
to kind
so you
of
can step
jiggle
through the
slightly,
wall.
and then you just have a marker on your belt or something that just enables you to be able to walk through the wall. And if anyone tries this without a marker, they walk through part of the wall, they walk through like
And
the
they get
first
stuck.
side of the wall, and it triggers and realizes they don't have one of these markers, and the wall just becomes solid and traps them in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
But then you'd have
That's what I'm
the
gonna have in
no.
my-
I think that
my
would
one.
cause some great morale loss in my mooks because
They'd get stuck in the wall.
it's not because they get stuck in the wall. It's that if they forgot the marker, they get stuck on the wall, and then everyone else would be walking through dead people.
No, because it doesn't kill them when they get trapped in the wall.
Yeah, it does.
Just traps them. It's not like the particles are going to reform inside them.
Yeah, it does.
No, you could set this tech up. Like, I'm not like you would be
I'll give it some
inventing this
thought.
tech. You could choose how it
And you
works.
just have this mangled guy half on each side
You
of
have
the
to
wall.
swap out the wall every time, and that's expensive. That's an expensive
you
use of
already
Double
know.
resources.
markers.
You're running an evil
Just because
genius lab here. You can easily get a
running
laser
an
cutter.
evil base doesn't mean I'm not, immune to the recession.
Health and safety.
Wow.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
Welcome to Evil Base. The first 20 minutes of your day shall be taken up with a health and safety meeting.
I just pay them a lump sum and they just wave it off. It's all right.
I tell you what, as a final leaving message, I tell you what I am looking forward to. Tomorrow morning, finally, my copy of Far Cry 3 arrives.
Might arrive.
Might.
Might, yeah.
Shut up. Tomorrow morning, my copy
hope.
of Far Cry 3 will arrive tomorrow
You
morning.
hope.
It will fall through my mailbox.
Allegedly.
And I will open it, and I'll realise that they've sent me Assassin's Creed 3 instead. And then what I will do is I'll take out the little bobblehead, and I'll put it on my desk, and then I will play Far Cry 3 for the entire day.
And it will be glorious.
Or,
It will be
alternatively, you don't get it tomorrow, and because tomorrow is Friday, you won't get it till Monday.
If it doesn't arrive, do you know what I'm going to do instead?
Buy it?
Nope, I'm going to play Firefall, as they have just brought out their EU servers.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
Sweet.
I need to
Well, they're going to
reinstall
make
now.
Hmm.
Firefall EU servers are up and running. Give me in the UK a wonderful 20 ping.
Nice.
Give everyone else in Europe, in countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway, and even the UAE, a really decent ping as well. And the game is awesome.
Kind of looks like Borderlands meets TF2.
We were running around doing some quests, and all of a sudden an event started directly next to us, and we spent the next half an hour trying to do this event. Because some events will spawn and they're like, 5-minute events, 10-minute events. This thing was a warship essentially landed and was spitting out chosen warriors and turrets and all kinds of crazy crap. And it was a fight and a half.
Nice.
Sweet.
I remember.
It
I
was
do remember
brilliant.
playing a good bit with the as the engineer and playing around with the heavy, but it was when they only had the US server and ping was
Very laggy.
it was very difficult to play because it's PvP oriented in places and yeah, it was no fun in losing all the time because of ping.
And just for anyone else that's listening and wants to work out how you get on these servers, just like as a special bonus for you, so you know, when you log in, it will automatically detect what your closest server is that gives you the best ping, and it will drop you on that one. The only way to change is by finding a person that's on the other ones and getting them to invite you to a squad and then teleporting to them, because then it will drop you on their server. However, then when you next reload the game, it will not teleport you back. You are then on that server, and you either need to find someone that will help you jump back across, or you need to submit a ticket and get a very helpful GM to get you to transfer back across for you.
Okay.
As there is no way to choose which one you can join through the UI yet.
Okay.
It is an auto service. And you may complain about this, but you can shut your face hole because the fact that they actually have the server up and running and the fact that you can seamlessly transition between the two of them
That's pretty
is
smart.
goddamn good enough for me right
So we
now.
just need an in-game interface to just switch, which is pretty easy to add once you've got
Also-
the back end working. Fair play.
Also, I'm going to say this as a final thing, and we're going to end it after this, so you get 2 words, Sander, and I know exactly what it's going to be after they say this. Team Deathmatch in Firefall is kill confirmed.
Yeah.
You have to actually confirm your kill by shooting the corpse or stamping on them with an execute to get the marker.
Nice.
There you go. So, that wraps it up for this week. If you have any questions, queries, or comments, please feel free to leave them. Fluke.
Below.
There you go. And from myself, from Mr. Fluke, from Mr. Surge, from ill Mr. Kel, who hopefully won't die before next week.
If he's not dead already.
If you... Yeah, that's true.
Cal?
Ominous there, Surge. Bit dark.
Where is he?
We hope you have a fantastic week, and we hope you enjoy whatever you're playing over the weekend. Feel free to leave us any messages you want to, and we will catch you for the next video. Peace.
In a while.
Till next time.
Brains.